Not everything in the Trevor Henderson universe wants to hurt you. Some just exist, watch, and wander, and a few in their own strange way might even try to help. In a world crawling with monsters, not all creatures are hostile. Previously, we spoke about the hostile creatures and how to survive, but today we're taking a step away from the killers, the stalkers, and the ones that want to erase you from existence. And instead, we're looking at the other side, the lonely, the misunderstood, and the possibly protective. These are the beings that haunt the edges of civilization, not to destroy, but maybe to connect, or maybe just to be left alone. They're still terrifying to look at, towering figures, twisted limbs, otherworldly faces, but looks can sometimes be deceiving. At times, the scariest thing isn't a monster chasing you, it's a monster that doesn't. Buckle up, because we're going headfirst back into the Trevor Henderson universe. You hear the soft creak of bones. A pale, skeletal neck snakes down from the ceiling. It doesn't speak, but somehow you understand it isn't here to harm you. It shouldn't exist, but it does, and it wants to keep you safe. Longhorse is one of the few entities in the Trevor Henderson universe that is not hostile. In fact, it may be a guardian angel, an omen of danger, not the cause of it. Its appearance is unforgettable, a pale, horse-like skull with empty black eye sockets perched atop an infinitely long, segmented neck that twists and stretches like a spectral ribbon through the air. Its body never fully appears, as it seemingly doesn't have one, just that endless neck, quietly snaking through ceilings, doorways, and forests. Despite its disturbing look, Longhorse gives off no sense of malice. Its neck makes the soft sound of creaking bones as it moves, not menacing, but oddly familiar, like an old house settling. Longhorse is a predictive entity. It appears to those who are in danger, not to harm them, but to warn them. It doesn't speak, but its presence often brings dreams, visions, or instincts that compel people to avoid oncoming threats. In some cases, people who encounter Longhorse are spared horrific fates simply just because they listen to the warning. It may appear hovering near your ceiling, outside a window, or curling through a hallway with its neck stretching impossibly far, and once the danger is past, it vanishes. Longhorse is timeless. It doesn't age, doesn't decay, it doesn't leave behind any physical traces. It simply exists wherever it's needed. Much like Siren Head, Longhorse's presence predates written history. Cave paintings have been discovered depicting a long, serpent-like creature with a horse's skull, suggesting this entity has been appearing to humans for centuries, possibly even longer. In every image, it's never shown attacking, only watching from above, or standing near moments of disaster. This supports the theory that Longhorse has always been a warning, never a weapon. Longhorse is a silent protector in a world of monsters, a creature older than history, appearing not to haunt, but to save. It may resemble death, but when Longhorse arrives, it means death has not found you yet. You hear a soft rattle in the dark, a faint click. You turn, but no one's there. No one you can see anyway. He's always watching, always waiting. Not out of hate, but out of attachment. Bonesworth is one of Trevor Henderson's most unusual and unsettling entities. Not because of violence or rage, but because he is a skeletal, semi-invisible companion with infinite skulls, unknown motives, and a tendency to linger forever. This gaunt creature is humanoid in shape, but clearly not human. Its round skull-like head splits perfectly down the middle, and it's just the outermost shell. Behind it, more skulls. Endless, layered, identical skulls that peel back forever. A grotesque nesting doll of bone and nothingness. Its ribcage is exposed and hollow, its limbs long and skeletal. Despite its fragile appearance, Bonesworth defies gravity, able to support its enormous head and navigate the world in ways that makes no physical sense. Bonesworth isn't evil, he's just obsessive. Word of God describes him as a good boy, harmless, loyal, but the kind of loyal that becomes a problem. Once Bonesworth picks you as his favorite, he will never leave. He'll be the only one who can see him, and no one will believe he's there, even as things begin to change. He doesn't mean harm, but he causes it anyway, not through violence, but through mischief and presence. He'll move your ladder while you're climbing, tangle your brake cables, or trap you in a garage for days, rearrange your house when you're gone. He means it as a game, just for fun, but the side effects are real: insomnia, sickness, paranoia, and once he's latched on, there's no way to shake him. Bonesworth breaks the rules of reality. He is composed of infinite skulls layered within each other, a paradox that should not exist in theory. He can manipulate perception, only his chosen favorite can see him. To everyone else, he doesn't exist at all. It's also rumored that he can be summoned by playing a mysterious mobile game called Bonesworth, though whether this is a cursed app, an ARG, or something far darker is unknown. Bonesworth is not aggressive, but his presence becomes corrosive over time. You won't be killed by him, but he'll slowly wear you down. Physically, he poses little threat, but psychologically, he's relentless. You hear heavy, wet footsteps in the grass, then the groaning of meat and bone. Something massive is coming, but it isn't here to hurt you. Big Charlie is one of the more tragic creatures in the Trevor Henderson universe, a towering, fleshy being that looks like a warped combination of a cow, a human, and something that never belonged on Earth. Despite its disturbing malformed appearance, Big Charlie is not hostile. In fact, he seems more like an overgrown animal, confused, frightened, and constantly in pain. Its body is bloated and uneven, covered in bare muscle, sagging skin, and misshapen limbs. It walks on long, spindly legs that shouldn't support its weight, and its mouth drops open, leaking strange fluids. Its eyes are vacant, not predatory, like that of a creature that doesn't understand the world it's in. According to the original caption, Big Charlie escaped from a meat processing plant. It's heavily implied that he was a product of an experimentation, a man-made attempt to engineer a creature that could produce massive amounts of meat in a short time. His grotesque body supports this, an unnatural blend of farm animal features fused together into something that shouldn't live, but somehow it does. He's bloated and lopsided with patchy skin and long limbs that struggle under his own weight. His gaping mouth and sagging posture make him look more like a pile of muscle than a living creature. But he's alive, and worse, he's spreading. Hanging beneath Big Charlie's body are mutating meat chunks, fleshy growths that fall off as he moves. These chunks don't rot, they actually evolve. Once separated, they become Lil Nuggets, his offspring. These creatures vary in shape and behavior, some of which can grow into something hostile, but for the most part they're small, mobile, and disturbing in their own right. After they drop, they're left to fend for themselves. It's unclear if Big Charlie even realizes he's reproducing. He doesn't protect them, doesn't raise them, he simply wanders on, dropping meat like spores, letting new life take root wherever he goes. Big Charlie is a biological tragedy, not a predator, a lab-grown beast who wanted nothing but to walk free, and now he does, but freedom has a cost. His body births nightmares, and wherever he walks, something new begins to grow. You hear faint, wet footsteps in the kitchen. Something small is dragging itself across the floor. At first glance, it almost looks cute. Almost. Lil Nuggets are accidental offspring of Big Charlie, formed from the flesh chunks that fall off his body as he wanders. These chunks don't rot or die. They regenerate into small living creatures, each one unique in shape, color, and deformity. Most little nuggets are small, about the size of a peanut butter jar, with stubby legs and a large oval-shaped head that looks like a soft, raw meat. Their googly eyes aren't even real. They're more like strange, fake growths, often lopsided and mismatched. Some fall off entirely, leaving them eyeless, yet still moving as if they can see. Little nuggets are docile and curious, often wandering into homes, sniffing out food, or exploring kitchens, like strange, fleshy pets. Trevor Henderson has even referred to them as friends, hinting that they can be tamed or domesticated if fed or cared for. But they're far from harmless curiosities. If fed enough and left unchecked, some little nuggets evolve into the lamb, a creature far more dangerous and hostile. Only a handful have ever made this transformation, but once it starts, keeping one in your home is ill-advised. Little nuggets also come in many variations, some slimier, some redder, some sprouting extra parts like mouths, extra eyes, or oddly shaped heads. Certain types, like void nuggets or me nuggets, have strange properties that remain largely unexplored. A single little nugget isn't dangerous. A group of them, however, can swarm or destroy property while scavenging for food. Their ability to regenerate by shedding and regrowing pieces of themselves means killing one doesn't necessarily end it. You might just get more. If you see a little nugget, don't panic. They're not aggressive. You can safely observe them or coax them out with food. But if one starts growing larger, moving faster, or changing shape, get rid of it immediately. Because once it becomes a lamb, survival drops drastically. Little nuggets are among the few Trevor Henderson creatures that are more strange than deadly. Treat them like wild animals, curious, hungry, and unpredictable. They may look harmless now, but every lamb was once a nugget. It appears to be a building at a distance, but upon closer inspection, that is no building. Watchtower is not like any tower you know of. Towering over forests, cities, and even mountains, she is a gentle colossus, a creature of immense size and strange beauty that brings protection, not destruction. Draped in thick fur and crowned with twisted, branch-like antlers, her presence is both majestic and uncanny. Her enormous, human-like eyes scan the horizon from a head shaped like a beam. Silent and ever watchful, birds circle her, nest in her fur, and live undisturbed, a testament to her calm nature. Locals have called her a guardian, a relic of peace in a world filled with monsters. Some say she was once a center of attention, a tourist attraction, but now she's a symbol of quiet hope, fading into legend as darker creatures begin to roam. Watchtower is benevolent. She's known to protect a small town, earning the role of both mascot and guardian. She is peaceful and undisturbed by life around her. While her full origin remains unknown, it is believed she stands opposed to other giants, potentially battling cryptids and unnatural threats that threaten her territory. Locals have grown used to her presence, though the novelty has worn off in a world filled with colossal beings. Still, the townspeople believe she may be our only hope. Watchtower's size alone is her greatest weapon. She can crush cryptids beneath her feet, cause tremors with a single step, and her antlers may serve as natural spears. Her powerful eyesight can scan vast landscapes, possibly identifying danger or people in distress. Her massive presence announces itself at all times, making it clear she watches everything below. The dance begins when you're most alone. The Marionette is a haunting, string-suspended entity resembling a pale, malnourished humanoid puppet. Its faceless head and lanky limbs hang emotionless until the spotlight hits. Then it moves with unnatural grace, performing an eerie dance to tunes like Putting It on the Ritz. The music echoes from nowhere, chilling the air, as the puppet's long arms sway in sync with the rhythm. The creature begins to dance, perfectly, elegantly, unnaturally. Then it stops, stares silently, and rises back into the sky until it disappears completely. Once called the Hugger, this name was later confirmed to be non-canon. Trevor Henderson clarified its true name. The Marionette, a title far more fitting for its theatrical and surreal nature. It always appears under a mysterious, unexplainable spotlight, often descending from the night sky like a sinister performance. It's said to lower silently when you're most vulnerable alone, in a park at 4 a.m., or walking an empty path. After its haunting performance, it bows, then rises into the sky until it vanishes completely. Despite its unnerving appearance, it hasn't ever shown hostility. By the way it watches with its blank face, and how it always knows you're there, makes one thing certain: you're the audience, and the show is just for you. Whether it means harm, or simply wants to be seen, remains unknown. All we know is that once the music starts, get your popcorn, you're already part of the performance. A raccoon of the uncanny. Bring it rot, and it brings you treasures. The gift ape is a stubby, odd-looking quadruped, cloaked in long, black fur. Its body is compact with long legs and oversized feet, while its red, featureless face holds two black dot-like eyes and a twisted, unmoving mouth. A strange protrusion, either a tail or an extra limb, extends from its back half. Often hidden behind fences or trash bins, it moves with an ape-like lope and hums softly despite its mouth never moving. One of the few truly kind beings in the Trevor Henderson universe, Gift Ape is considered a certified friend. It wanders alleyways at night, rummaging through garbage and spreading filth in search of rotting food. Despite this raccoon-like behavior, it means no harm. In fact, it rewards those who feed it spoiled food, offering bizarre little gifts in return. Some known gifts include shiny rocks, possibly diamonds, fruit peels arranged decoratively, bottle caps, bones, feathers, or single gloves, aluminum foil, and even seashells, even if you're far from the ocean. If you're lucky and generous, it might even bring you 2 gloves, although they'll never match. There is no threat from Gift Ape. It's harmless, but don't provoke it. And as Trevor Henderson states, don't cross it. Just leave some garbage out, maybe a rotten apple core or a stale pizza, and you may just be rewarded. Thanks for watching, but don't get too comfortable. Even the friendly ones can turn when crossed. And there are still many more lurking in the shadows, waiting to be seen. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see next, or if you'd rather I return to the dangerous side of the Trevor Henderson universe. Either way, as always, something new is already in the works. Until then, keep your eyes open, and remember, some friends don't knock before visiting.